Okay, Luis, Ryan Mills here with All About Pitching, and this is your video lesson. What we're going to do here is we're going to go over 9 steps to explosive pitching delivery, and we have you linked up side by side with a major league pitcher. His name's Daniel Bard. He pitches for the Boston Red Sox. He's a setup guy there. He throws 96 to 100 and just has really good timing, uses his body really well, and I'm going to compare him to you in these 9 steps and see where you're at. Now, I read your questionnaire, and I know you've hit 85. You're just making a transition into being a pitcher, and a scout told you that if you hit 87 that he would sign you without question, and there's no doubt in my mind you can hit 87, and you can probably do that within a week, if not sooner. But I really think you have the potential to throw well over 90. You got a great body, you have good intensity, your timing's just off. So basically I'm going to go over the 9 steps and really break down your delivery, because that's my job. But in my opinion, it's just the way you're starting your delivery, which is it's going to set the tone for the rest of your delivery, is where you need to change. And then once you do that, I think the velocity is going to come. It's going to be a different timing for you, and it might be a little bit uncomfortable at first, but I think you're going to really like the changes, and it's going to feel a lot better, and you're just going to get a lot more velocity out of it, and it's going to take a lot of stress off your arm as well. So we're going to start from the side here, and then we'll go to the front, or we'll go from the back angle as well. So the first position we look at is the highest point in the leg lift. Now, we call this weight distribution and posture. So in this position, we want to make sure that our foot is under the knee, our weight is distributed over the middle of the foot, not the heel, not the toe, over the middle of the foot, so that back leg is really stable. We want to make sure our torso, our upper body, is straight up and down, shoulders are down and back, and they're sideways in a direct line with home plate. We want to make sure the hands are up close into the chest. Now, everything's good in this position, but what I'm going to advise you to do is, if I bring it back a little bit, as you lift your leg, I'd like to see you lift your hands up to your chest. Okay? Then, as you start from this position, you're going to start to move forward towards landing. I'd like to see your hands are going to be up, then as you start moving forward, bring your hands down. You can see how Bard does that and breaks at the belt. You're just breaking your hands a little bit too early, and you're not really getting your weight shifted away from the rubber, okay? And your back leg's really breaking down. So that's the first change I would want you to make, is just get a little bit more rhythm with your hands. As your lift leg comes up, bring your hands up. And then as the front hip starts to move out, bring the hands down, break a little bit later, and keep a really stable back leg. Okay, so the second position we're going to look at is weight shift and handbrake. So all this kind of goes hand in hand. So hold on one second here. Okay, so weight shift and handbrake. So from this position, we call this the 1 position. So from this position, we want to break the hands down by the belt, and we want to shift our weight leading with the side of the front hip. Hip first, then foot. Okay? And you want to keep a really stable back leg as you shift your weight away from the rubber. Now, we're not really driving yet. We're just kind of leaning into the pitch. We're setting ourselves up. Once you break your hands, that's when you want to start accelerating. But until then, we're just kind of leaning into it. We're getting our balance. We're getting loaded over the back leg. And then once we break the hands, then it's time to go and really drive with the back leg. So what you're doing is you're shifting your weight by straightening that lead leg. So here you can see that your lead leg straightens, and so you're really directing your momentum with the front foot. You can see with Bard, he's got his hip going out first, and his knee is still bent. He's still got a bend. He's still keeping that foot under the knee. Okay? That's allowing him to really direct his momentum with his back leg. In your case, you're directing your momentum with your front leg. So we got to shift that focus, put it on the back leg. Okay? That's going to make a big difference for you. So just think hip, then foot, and keeping a really stable back leg. Okay, so now we're going to go to arm action. Nothing wrong with your arm action. We'll just go through it here. So the only thing I see in your arm action is there's a little bit of a hesitation right here, and it's when your lead leg straightens. Okay, so I think if you keep your foot under your knee, just keep moving out with the side of your front hip and keep that arm moving. You're going to have better timing, your arm's not going to hesitate, and you're going to be in a much better position when you land. But other than that, your arm action's good. We can see you get the arm up here, and it's in a good position. No problem with the arm action. I just see a little bit of a hesitation, and I don't think it's because of your arm. I think it's because of the lead leg swinging out too soon. You can see your lead leg is straight here. Bard's is still bent. Now Bard's is straight. Okay, and it's just a split second later. Okay, so just keep that foot under the knee just a split second more, and it's going to make a big difference keeping your arm moving, and also your forward momentum is going to be increased. Okay, so the next position we're going to look at is completion of back leg drive. Okay, so from this position we really want to drive the body sideways with the back leg until the back leg's fully extended, meaning the inner thigh gets fully stretched and the leg is still sideways. So in order to complete leg drive, we got to keep the back foot, the posting foot, down. We got to keep the heel down. If the weight goes to the toe too soon, the back leg can't get fully extended. And you have a long stride, but I think you're overstriding just a tad. So you can see here, this is where Bard gets his back leg fully extended. But also notice his back foot is still down. It's all the way down. With you, your back leg can't get fully extended because what I was talking about before, you're up on your toe too soon. Okay, so you want to keep that back foot down longer. Once the back thigh, inner thigh gets fully extended, then you can start pushing with the toe. You're just pushing with the toe too soon, and it's making your back leg break down. Then you're kind of overextending yourself with your stride, and you end up your torso ends up out in front of your arm. So easy adjustment. And once you make these adjustments, these 4 adjustments, your whole delivery is going to change. So you're probably not even going to have to listen to the second part of this analysis. But I'm going to do it anyway. But up until this point is where you need to change things. Once you do that, it's going to make a huge difference, and 87 is going to be no problem for you. So from back leg completion, we're going to go to the landing position. Okay, so once the back leg gets straight, it's time to put the foot down and then start throwing. So we'll see here, you just kind of extend yourself out too far. There's Bard's back leg's fully straight. Now he starts to rotate and put the foot down. And you can see his back heel is still not quite as up as yours. You can see his foot's more in contact with the ground. You're on your tippy toe here, so you're going to have a little bit of less stability in your lower body. Okay? So nevertheless, let's get to landing position. So there's landing position. I call the landing position is when the front foot plants, the front leg braces up. It's not touchdown, it's when the front leg braces up. Okay? So in this position, you can see with Bard, his shoulders are sideways in a direct line with home plate, and his arm is back. It's like a big rubber band being stretched out. With you, your front shoulder has started to rip out, okay, and your arm is already coming through. It's not back. Okay, so you have less distance to apply force to the ball, and you have less stretch. You have less elastic energy. So with Bard, it's like he's pulled that rubber band all